tell me what actually 10x's or 20x's this company. I mean, I think you think it can get to a $5 trillion market cap.
Yeah.
I don't really see that anytime soon. What really has to happen before they can get to that $10 trillion market cap?
FSD. I know it's very vague right now on how that's going to be, but they did roll out version 12 and that thing's looking good, but it's going to be FSD. FSD is the only thing that can really take the company profits to whole new levels. There's energy as well, and that's growing. That will help as well, but it's going to be the full self-driving because think about it, all right? By the year of, let's say, 2026, so 2 years from now, Tesla will have about, let's say, about 8-9 million vehicles all around the world.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say FSD comes to a point, because here's the thing with FSD, it's never going to be solved. Just like how human drivers, they don't know how to drive.
Right.
Right? So it's never going to be solved. However, though, if the data comes out and shows that, hey, it's 10 times safer, it can bring, let's say if there's 1 million deaths in a year from vehicles, it can bring it down to maybe below 100,000. This data, and it's safer and better to drive. It's more reliable to drive than human beings. If this data comes out and shows this and proves it to the governments that this is the case, it'll be a no-brainer for them to go like, so why would we allow so many deaths when this thing can save lives? It's more reliable, it's more safe.
Right.
With that being said,
but how quick do you think FSD is actually coming? Like, do you really think in the next year and a half we're gonna have cars that I'll be happy to let my mom, when she's getting picked up from the airport, just drive in and I have no problem?
Well, that's already happening, isn't it? Well,
I mean, it's happening in
not
San
to that
Francisco with
point, but
Cruise, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's
well,
not.
Cruise is now finished, but I mean, well, I mean, it's happening with Waymo. Well, what the problem with Waymo? It's not scalable. With Tesla, it is. And I don't know if you watched whole Mars catalog video. He's the one that has,
Yeah.
the version 12. I've never sat in a Tesla with full self driving, because in Canada we don't have that. We only have the autopilot, and that thing is amazing. When I go back in town, I always rent out a Tesla and I use that thing, and it's an awesome software to use, awesome thing to use when you're on the highways. But for full self driving, when I look at whole Mars, and I'm just like, if this could be the case for the entire country, then that is record. That is breaking.
But that's my question. Do you think the AI gets sophisticated enough throughout the entire country? Let's just talk about United States, forget the rest of the world, where people are willing to pay that $200 a month subscription or whatever to let them be driven around? Like, I don't see that happening really until 2028. And I think that's also another problem with the stock right now. Do you think that's happening sooner than later?
Well, it all comes down to how much data Tesla's collecting. And the more vehicles that Tesla has on the road, the more the data they're going to be collecting. Seeing how, going back to the version 12, seeing how that thing is driving, and that has no codes. It's all neural nets. It's all just what the AI thinks and what it is. And it's all been programmed with videos and data.
Yeah.
Well, if we look at the chart that Q4 had on Tesla, the data is just shooting up. It's continued to grow exponentially. Every day, Tesla's collecting about 2 million of this. And the more data it has, the more it can feed to this AI for it to learn more, to get better. And we can see that with every version that comes out with full self-driving. Now we have to see, because it's still too early for version 12, if every version that comes out, 12.1, 12.2, 12.3, whatever that is, if that's going to be a better update than the previous one. Because with version 11, it wasn't the case. Some updates was worse than the other, and then some updates was the best. So we have to see that with version 12. How I see it, if version 12 is actually the way how it is with whole Mars across the entire country, then we are in a very good spot to get this thing done. I mean, give it a couple of years. I mean, when I was talking to Farzad, he was thinking this summer, like last summer.
Farzad is very bullish.
Yeah, he's saying this summer, and I'm just like, hey, you know more than I do, because you work there and you have the car, so you know more than I do. But
do you think okay, so from FSD, do you think they can get to 20 million cars sold by 2030? Are you that bullish on?
No, I don't think Tesla will have deliveries by 2030. They would, if that, man, 20 million cars. It's very difficult to do that. Will they eventually get there? Maybe I'll say by maybe mid-decade of 2030s, they will probably get there. I don't, maybe for sure in the valuations that I make for sure they're going to exceed 10 million with the compact car, with the Cybertruck, with all the other models that they have, and don't forget the Semi and the van. And I am 100% certain, and people keep bashing me on this, but I'm 100% certain there's going to be a cheaper version of the compact car coming out later down the line.